Hello, all my sleepy bears. Welcome back to Chronically Blue. Well, I mean, I'm Chronically Blue. Welcome back to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. What's Knuckles got going on? Well, it's a good thing he left that switch out there for us. Let's go inside. No, the Chaos Emeralds. We need those. I like making the game easy. Anyway, so yeah, now instead of the 6 Chaos Emeralds, we now have the 6 Master Emeralds. So now we actually get to, well, who am I kidding? When we get the Master Emeralds, we will then be able to turn into a Hyper Sonic, which is very similar to regular Super Sonic. Only he has a screen clearing. Instead of the Insta Shield, Hyper Sonic gets more or less a screen nuke, where he's able to just destroy every enemy on stage by doing a double jump, more or less. And it makes the entire screen flash white, so that'll be fun. I can't wait to start putting a seizure warning on the front of my videos. That'll be really fun. Yeah, I'm just kind of like laying here. I'm tired. But what's new? I'm just vibing, really. My cat is still hiding in the little desk thing right next to the PS4, because of course she is. Why wouldn't she? Oh, and she just turned around, so now I'm looking at her butthole. That's lovely. We got the stuff. I'm currently laying on my stomach with my feet in the air like I am someone in the 80s who is talking to their best friend. But nope, I'm just talking to myself and looking at the gameplay of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Which, I do want to say that Sonic 3 and Knuckles is fully completed, thankfully. I just have to get the videos together and then export them. And what I'm thinking of doing specifically is I'm just gonna take it like really easy and just like finish Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and then I'll start 2 new Let's Plays. Just because, I don't know, like, there's a lot going on. Time is very fast, but also unbearably slow. So, you know what I mean? How, like, stuff happens. Like, the only thing I want to do right now is I want to take a nap. But I don't think that I should take a nap. I mean, it's 4:15, but I had a good sleep. Like, I slept from, I want to say 2 a.m. all the way till just about 11:30. So that was a really good nap. My body is like, hey, 9 hours, like, anything that is equal to or greater than 8 hours of sleep. That's what my body is all about. And if I do anything less than that, my body's like, we hate you. My boyfriend is fantastically the complete opposite, where he's like, oh yeah, I got 5 hours of sleep. I have so much energy. And if he sleeps too long, then he gets groggy. I don't know how he's able to do that. But we are going to do our best in order to collect as many Master Emeralds in this first episode as possible. Just because this is the starting stage of Sonic and Knuckles, if you only had Sonic and Knuckles. But so I spent a lot of time in this stage specifically, so I know where a good chunk of the big rings are. The big rings. No, onion rings. If I could just stop yawning, that'd be great. Sonic, you're not supposed to get hit, silly Willy. I could have sworn that was a big ring, but I guess not. Oh well. Alright, so Sonic Frontiers, that is the new Sonic game that is being discussed, and looks like it's going to be announced as November-ish. So that'll be fun. It looks like it is an open world 3D Sonic game, so I'm curious about it. I'm not gonna hate it. You know, I'm interested in it. I don't think it'll be like horrible, but you know. I'm just not. It really depends on how they do the whole open world thing. Because if it is similar to Mario Odyssey, then I'll be totally down for it. But if it is anything like Skyrim or Fallout, that's when I'm like, no thank you. And now the season's changed, because magically. We don't really ask questions here. We just believe that everything works. And most of the time it does. Some of the times it doesn't. Yes, one of the best things to do here specifically is to just like check as many walls as possible. They hide a lot of the big rings in the walls around here. However, I have no idea what we've even done recently. Like, that's how long it's been since I played or watched Sonic v Knuckles. My brain is not on. That's all I gotta say. And for anyone that's wondering, oh, why don't you just record games live so then you don't sound tired while you play them? I'm always tired. I'm never not gonna be tired. And I've tried. I've genuinely tried. I would like to go to bed earlier in order to see if that might stop me. However, that does not. After I've had energy drinks, I still yawn. So the only thing I could really do is just like have an energy drink, and then as the caffeine is coursing through my body, I can just like start commentating and be like, yep, here we go, we're gonna go and do this thing now. I don't think that'll be it. I don't think so, actually. I think, like, it does sound like a good idea, but I also don't think it'd be like too great. Alright, so what happened here is I went and got every single ring. So we got the perfect in this stage. The perfect is where you get every single ring in the special stage. And it's really, you don't get anything special for it. In order to do it, as you've seen multiple times, you just circle a case of rings and then pick up all the rings. And if you get all the rings in a special stage, you get a perfect. And the perfect bonus is 50,000 points, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, or maybe it does, I don't know. For me, the bigger the number is, the less I can imagine it. The less it means to it. But for doing that, we got a 3-star coin bonus. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, if someone, like, let's say in the news, there was someone who got sick, and they'd say, like, one person is sick, 2 people are showing something, and you're like, oh, okay, that's like 3 people. That, like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it feels, like, really important. It's like, oh, I could think of at least 3 people that I know that if they got sick or showing symptoms, I'd be kind of sad for them. And it's like, okay, someone drank a cup of water, and 50,000 people are now affected. You're just like, I don't really care. And that's not to say that, like, you don't have sympathy. Like, of course, you're like, oh, well, that sucks. But at the same time, it's like, it's hard to imagine, like, 50,000 people. So it's really hard to kind of be like, it's really hard to put that into perspective, really. The smaller the number, the easier it is to put into perspective. It's the bigger the number, the harder it is to put into perspective. I don't know if I'm, like, unlocking rain waves or something. I'm just here. And like this is like, I mean, like, I'm probably just gonna like take a nap, but like, I have to like do stuff that like, hey, I have to play D&D. So if I do take a nap, I gotta set an alarm. But at the same time, I don't want to take a nap just because I don't really have a lot of time to myself off on the weekends. And so I'm like, oh well, I gotta be productive. But I'm also like, but I'm tired. I don't wanna. This is kind of like my main thing here, is that like, back as a youngin' in high school and middle school, whenever it was the weekend, it felt amazing. It was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do so much stuff. And like once you got done with school, you got home, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do so much stuff. Like if you didn't have any homework, I mean. You were like, aw man, now I only have 2 hours to play this game. But when you're working a job, like, I don't want to say a traditional 9 to 5 because I work 11 to 8, but when you work a job like that and like you get off work, you have, I have specifically, roughly like 1, 2, or maybe 3 hours to do stuff, and then boyfriend comes home, we eat dinner, we go to bed, and then it repeats. And so it's very unique and frustrating at the same time. We got the Chaos Emerald, or the Master Emerald, I mean. A Super Emerald. Hiya. Yeah, I recently got the Retro Game Treasure Box, which is really cool. It has some good games in it. I'm not saying that they're all winners. I definitely got one game that I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna play this. It's not because it's not because it's a horrible game. It's just a game that like, it's a specific genre that I'm like not into. It's like a choose your own story kind of ish game, but it's like about the police at a club. So like you don't actually move, you just make the story decisions, and it a visual novel. That's what I'm thinking of. But it's a visual novel that has all the audio completely done out for it. And you don't hit a button in order to go to the next part, it just automatically goes to the next part. So it feels less like you're playing a game or reading a book, and it feels more like you're just watching a movie and occasionally hitting the button to advance it. It's like at Barnes & Noble, there was this interactive Batman movie, and I was very confused. I was like, why? That doesn't make sense. If you want Batman to be interactive, just pick up a Batman video game. Like, you know? Like that's what makes the most sense. And I'm also over here just like, man, I kind of want to like record more Resident Evil 0, but at the same time, I don't. Have I told you that I have depression? If you couldn't tell, I do. But I do want to thank everyone that watched the last episode of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Thank you all so much. We got so many views on it. I do, again, just want to say thank you so much for that. I know I don't really, like, talk about or discuss, like, the views or comments or anything, but it really does mean a lot. Thank you all so much for watching it. And thank you all so much for watching this, too. This is why you are all my sleeping bears. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Da ba da da. If I could turn views into energy drinks, I might have enough energy to make it through a day on 1 hour of sleep. And no, I do not drink coffee. I drink sugar-free energy drinks, which I don't know if they're that good, but they're healthier for my teeth than regular sugar-filled energy drinks. So, you know, win some, lose some. I recently got some fillings done by a dentist, and the part where they got the fillings done, they actually, like, it started to become sensitive. I'm like, I don't think this is supposed to be happening here. My teeth were not normally sensitive. So I'm really just going to be like, okay, well, the next time I go in there, which is going to be really soon, actually, I'm just going to let them know and be like, hey, is my teeth supposed to be sensitive? Because the first time you did this, it wasn't. So, I don't know. I'm just going to let them know and, like, see if they can, like, mess around my mouth to make sure everything's okay. As well as, speaking of okay, I do want to let you know that we're actually getting really close to the September 9th. And on September 9th, that is when an album gets released. It is Brain Fudge by Jackson. Some of the songs are marked as explicit, although most there's no curse words in it. It's just it had to be marked as explicit due to descriptive language. So that was fun. It's like the guy from Water Parks, the band, I mean, where they had a song. It's like, I miss having stuff, but at least I don't want to die anymore. And they had to change it to pants because you can't say a 3-letter word on the radio. So it was like, I miss wearing pants, but at least I don't want to die. Which is very, I feel like that definitely, that definitely affects the ability to, go back and, listen to that song. Like, Mom, I want the Now That's What I Call Music 97 with I Miss Wearing Pants. It's so ridiculous, Anyway, that's just kind of I'm all down for lyric changes, but I miss wearing pants. Is that... I'm not saying that's the worst thing ever, I'm just saying, it'll definitely affect... Then again, Water Parks is a big band. I'm sure they don't know who I am. So, I know that I'm just, complaining for, no reason, but I just think that they could have done a little bit better than I miss wearing pants. I miss having checks, but at least I don't want to die anymore, and I think that's pretty cool. I miss having checks, as in, a pay stub, or a paycheck. I think that could have done a little bit better than pants. Here we have a very unique part that I'm not too fond of, where we have to navigate these orange balls? I'm not exactly sure what they are. They're annoying is what they are. That's the important thing. So here in this stage, we actually get to find out that if we find a capsule that we normally break them to end the level, it'll actually be filled with random stuff, such as rings or enemies. But yeah, not a whole lot going on here, and I do apologize for how the fans look. I know the fans don't look great. That is just due to the compression, actually, from the different everything, actually. I know that some stuff doesn't look good, but thankfully, it just doesn't look good for a few seconds. It's not always gonna look horrible. So if you see stuff flashing and such, or stuff you know what I mean, especially with the Master Emeralds. That's the best way to put it. It's just due to the frequency, and specifically the not even the shutter speed. It's just due to how it looks. Because of how it comes across, it looks fine if you're watching on a TV, but if you're trying to record it, then it looks really messed up. We almost made that yet. I'm just doing my best here. This is an alright level. It's not my favorite level, but I think it's alright. Also, we have a little secret here, where if you push this spike here, you actually find a golden ring. I don't know if anyone knew about that. I found out about it from watching a completely different Let's Play, maybe 7 years ago. Just about. Also, isn't it insane that 2016 was 6 years ago? That's something that is... It's so hard to think about. It's so hard to realize that 2013 is almost 10 years old. Someone born in the year 2013 is probably about to start 6th grade. That's the part that's so insane to me. It's what? What's happening here? I promise I am not under the influence. I'm just tired. Ugh. Yay. I hear that yawning, specifically yawning, I hear that it is due to the body not getting enough oxygen. And so, like, you're yawning to try to get more oxygen in order to, like, wake up. But everyone just sees it as, oh, am I boring you? And I'm just like, no, I slept 1 minute and my dog was barking. So I'm sorry that I am giving off the appearance that you are boring me. However, I'm trying to stay awake because lack of sleep. Which, by the way, I really do hope y'all are getting enough sleep. And if you're not getting enough sleep, I suggest taking a nap. Like, not like a big nap, just like maybe like a 1 hour or 20-minute nap. Like 15 to 1 hour. Set a timer. That's just what I would suggest, just because naps are important. Naps are really good. Naps are your friend. If you are tired, it's for a reason. So yeah, we have a very difficult boss here where we just stand on the top and then walk left and right. I know. It's so insane, but it is so difficult. Just walk left. And I think that was from us reaching 250,000 points. Because it definitely made like a happy sound. Although I'm not too sure about that. That's just what I'm assuming. Now I'm flying Batteries on Act 2, where it's going to look the exact same. Nothing much is going to change here. There's going to be new stairs and floor springs that try to advance us farther than anything. But you know, there's nothing too insane to worry about here. As well as, I think that the roughly 20 to 30 minute videos, that definitely helps keep this series very, very close to one another, very consistent. But then again, that also wasn't intentional. That was just me being like, okay, well, every 2 acts or so, I'll just be like, okay, time for the next one. And like that also happened with like Sonic CD. I think there was like, it must have been on like my old channel or something, but I try to do a thing where like at the end of every specific zone, where like, you know how there's like 3 stages and like that's a zone, where like at the end of that I'd be like, okay, I'm done. And so that would be like 7 episodes. And those 7 episodes would only be let's be generous and let's say 10 minutes. So 7 10-minute episodes. That's a little too much. Not as much as the credits for Spyro the Dragon, but something close to that. It's just unique per se. And I found out that my computer actually has it has like storage, but apparently it's like not a lot of storage. It has roughly 500 gigabytes. And so I actually have to be careful with the games that I download to make sure that I don't accidentally like use it all up. As well as I have to do like monthly video cleanings where I go through and take the videos and files I don't need anymore and I just delete them. So that way I just don't need them. That's the best way I can put it. It's nothing important. It's specifically the files and such from when the stuff and the stuff and the stuff. Specifically the gameplays like itself. So yeah, it's nothing like crucial. It's not like I'm deleting like the completed videos. Those actually go in their own separate folder, so I know that I can't delete those. So it's just like small stuff like the gameplay footage itself, because of course Elgato has to be Omega chalky and be like, oh well, you want this video in like 4K UHD 120 frames per second, when I really cannot tell the difference between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second. I cannot tell the difference. They just look the same. Like, if you put them side by side, you can be like, oh yeah, there's a difference. But, like, that's the thing as well with, like, TVs and, like, video games and such, where it's like, look at how different it looks. I'm like, oh yes, one is slightly brighter than the other one. And it took you 5 years to get to this conclusion? I just increased the brightness setting. Like, if you've ever been to, a Best Buy, a Walmart, a Target, anything like that, or even like the video game trailers recently with like the remakes, where they show the side-by-sides, like, look at how great this looks, and it's like, yeah, it's because there's been about like roughly 15 years in between there. I sure would hope the graphics improved at least a little bit. And speaking of graphics improving, I know that Bandai Namco recently released the Pac-Man Repack World game. It's specifically just Pac World, but it's the first one, and it's remade now. And I don't remember anything from it. I remember, like, it was $6 on the PlayStation Store, but that's about it. That's as much as I got. I played a lot of Pac-Man World 2, and I didn't even know there was a Pac-Man World 3. I played Pac-Man World 2 before I knew that Pac-Man World 1 was a thing. It was like, okay, I guess we have a sequel. And that's the part that kind of like amazes me, is how I kind of just grew up playing and watching the sequels to games before playing the predecessor, and now I'm like, oh, well, I gotta play them all in order for it to make sense. It's like how I watched Home Alone 2 so many times before I saw Home Alone 1. And if you've ever seen Home Alone 1, you know that Home Alone 1 is a good movie. Home Alone 2 is just okay. So, because I saw Home Alone 2 and I remember it being just okay, it did not exactly make me excited to go and watch Home Alone 1. Then I saw Home Alone 1 and I'm like, oh wow, this is actually a really good movie. No wonder so many people love it. And there goes Eggman. Hooray! So yes, we are now chasing Eggman. We got the time capsule here, so this means that the level and the video is over. Thank you all so much for watching Sleepy Bears. I hope you all enjoyed. Please check the link in the description to vote on my next Let's Play that'll be coming out very soon. Have a great day, and thank you all for watching.